Hello everyone. Today I would like to talk with you about feeling supported and building a relationship with the world around us. Each of us comes into this world as this little, wrinkly, crying, sometimes laughing baby that needs a lot of care and is very vulnerable and is very helpless and needs that nurturing and that support from parents and from everybody around, basically, to just get along with this world around. And within that period, and also afterwards, for I think probably until our teenage years, there is this phase in which we build our general feeling of how is my relationship with this world around me. And that feeling can lie on a spectrum. And on one end of the spectrum, there is the feeling of this world is out to get me. It's a dangerous place. It's a place that's hostile. It's a place that's painful. And I have to have a certain strategy to deal with it so that I avoid being hurt and being physically or emotionally destroyed. And that's on one end of the spectrum. And the other end of the spectrum is, this world is a beautiful place. It intends for me to thrive. It's on my side, and it's here to nurture and to support me. And each of us occupies a place on that spectrum. And it can be that in certain areas of life, we are more towards this side. In others, we're more towards this side. It's just and also it can be different moments that trigger one or the other. But in general, there is this place, that our default, where we would kind of tend to go back to. And we can shift that. We can move it on the spectrum, but it's important to recognize where we stand in it. And to give you an example, the way I recognized where I was standing was that a year and a half ago, I quit my job. And I had this freedom all of a sudden. Like, I was at home, I could do anything. And I just had this thing of like, let me just sit down and do all these things I wanted to do. So I made a big list. And every day I would just go through this list and get those things going. And then one day, as I was doing that, I felt this pressure. And I was like, wait, wasn't this pressure because I was working? What the fuck? Why am I feeling pressure now that I'm just on my own and I have all this freedom to do whatever I want right now? And I realized I need to sit with this. So I took a day off from everything and everyone and from technology and stuff. And I just sat and journaled in silence. And I came to the conclusion that underneath that pressure, there was a fear of failure. And underneath that fear of failure was a feeling that this world is out to get me, and unless I keep myself busy and organized and strong and effective and everything, it's just gonna fuck me up. And so that was what I was doing all the time. And that was a very disorienting experience for me, because as soon as I left and I came here to Bali, I did the complete opposite. I was like, okay, no plan, no nothing, no pressure. Let's see what happens. And I just started drifting. I did not know how to handle my life without this pressure. And through different experiences and processes here, I feel I've went through some different layers of that. And there was things like authentic relating that helped me, and things like coaching that I received from Laura, my coach. And also, like, recently I went to this core energetics workshop that also once again brought my attention to another layer of this. And it's not necessarily something that is like this and you switch and it's over and it's done. And I want to tell you guys that this is a very important question and a very important core belief that each of us is holding about this world and how we relate to it. And I wanted to suggest to you two things that you can do to address that. So first of all is just looking into, do you believe that this world is on your side and intends for you to thrive. And just staying very grounded in that question and trying to really feel what's there for you. And afterwards, if you find that you're not fully trusting, you might know that on a theoretical level, like you can comprehend it, but if you're not really trusting, then you can ask yourself this question, which is, what more proof do I need that this world is on my side and intends for me to thrive? And knowing that the answer to this question is not right or wrong, it has just to do with how you will go through this life and how you will experience it. So you can choose to stay with a distrust and just have an experience of distrust. Or you can start working through, why am I feeling that way? And for me, what has been really, really helpful lately, especially after this core energetics workshop that I attended recently, was these different moments in which I feel something is bugging me and something's not right, and asking myself, what would I do and how would I feel right now and how would I approach this situation if I knew I was supported? So I hope this has been useful, guys. Take care.